All right. I don't often tell jokes. Typically, if I'm DJing, I will. So this is like the first time I've ever been officially in Comic Lounge. So
Yay!
I typically remember, like my grandfather, he was a huge public speaker, and he would always have an icebreaker. So the icebreaker would start off with, I'd like to thank my Uncle Jeremiah for teaching me how to dress for events like this. For formal meetings, I wear my suit and tie. For church on Sundays, I wear my Sunday's best. And for events like this, I wear my teeth. All right, so on to the joke. You've got these two dogs. They're at the vet's office. You've got this very young, strapping Great Dane and an old Scotty Terrier. So the Great Dane says to the old Scotty dog, he says, "So, what are you doing here?" He says, "Terrible, terrible." He says, "I've got arthritis throughout my whole body. I piss all over the house. I'm blind in one eye, and my hearing's going bad." He says, "My owners brought me here to put me down." So the young Dane says, "Oh, that is absolutely horrible." So Scotty dog says to the Great Dane, so what are you doing here?" And the Great Dane says, "Do you see that blonde over there?" And the Scotty dog looks over at this buxom, beautiful blonde. He says, "Yes." He says, "Well, every morning she takes me into the bath, and she gets undressed in front of me and hops into the shower. Well, today I couldn't handle it. I mounted her." And the Scotty dog says, "Oh, that's absolutely horrible. Being put down for that." He says, "Hell no, I'm here to have my nails clipped." And with that, I want to thank you all for allowing me on stage.
Thanks.
Take care.
Oh,
God
bless Corbin. That was awesome.
This is a joke that I've told before, so if you heard it before, you still have to laugh. That's
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've heard it and not from me, then you still have to laugh. Here we go.
You got a deal.
Trying to remember the order. Okay, here we go. One night, way out in the country, somewhere in the Midwest, this elderly couple, like in their 80s or whatever, and they're sitting around and they've already had their dinner, they've already taken their baths, and they're already in bed. And Paul turns on the radio. And for entertainment in the evening, they listen to a radio evangelist. And this radio evangelist they were listening to was really striking a chord. And he was saying things like, "I can heal anybody. I can do anything with the power of God. I can sure enough heal you. Whatever ails you, I can do it." Right here in this audience, we got people on crutches that have been walking around and dancing and running. Whatever your problem is, just bring it to me and I can take care of it.
Lord have mercy. Amen.
Well, Paul looks over at Ma and he turns the radio up. Starts to lean forward. And he's really getting into it. Whatever your problem is, if you got a sickness in your body right now, what I want you to do is touch your body wherever it's ailing you and then put one hand on the radio. If your problem is finances, I can take care of that too. Put your hand on your wallet and put other hand on the radio. If your problem is your family, go get a picture. And I will tell you right now, guarantee through the power of God, they will be delivered, healed, and set free. Just put one hand on whatever it is and put that other hand on the radio. Paul takes another look at Ma, takes a deep breath, shuffles a little bit in his seat, squares his back, and lowers one hand to his lap. Reaches out and put the other hand on the radio. Whatever it is, I can heal, I can heal, I can heal through the power of God. Yes, I can. And he starts grinning. He looks over at Ma and winks. And she said, yo, Coot, he said he could heal the sick. He ain't say nothing about raising the dead.
No, that's
On
great.
that snake, boys and girls.
Thank you for that. Oh, good Lord. That was
That's
wonderful.
my one joke. I learned it in Girl Scouts.
Well, you gotta look up more and do more because your delivery's fantastic.
Oh, that was
That was
awesome.
great.
Yeah. Oh,
That was
God.
great. Thank you for doing that, Pat. We really appreciate having somebody try comedy once in a while. We really do like it, despite what you may have heard. Okay, so let's start with some jokes I got here. I got one here. This is about a cop that pulled somebody over, right? And the cop said, I pulled you over because you're driving on the wrong side of the road. And the driver said, oh, sorry, I'm English. And then the cop said, it's the wrong side of the bloody road now, isn't it, you bastard? Like most drunks do. You got to hit rock bottom. Okay. Here's a joke about the Queen of England visiting America. Queen of England was visiting America, right? And she's given a tour of a hospital. And on her tour, she passed a room where a male patient was masturbating furiously. Oh, my goodness, screamed the Queen. What is disgraceful. Why is he doing that? The doctor was leading the tour, calmly explained, I'm very sorry you saw that, but you see, this man has a serious condition where his testicles rapidly fill up, and if he doesn't do that at least 5 times a day, he's going to be in extreme pain, and his testicles could easily rupture.
Oi.
Fair case of blue balls. And the Queen, very understanding, said, oh, well, in that case, I guess it's okay. They passed the very next room. They saw a male patient laying in bed while a nurse performed oral sex on him, and the Queen's going, gracious, how could that be justified? And the doctor said, oh, he has the same condition, but he's got a better medical plan. Okay. Now, if you were making a children's book, right, and you're explaining the alphabet, A is for apple, B is for banana, what is C for?
Carrot.
C4 is plastic explosives. Kaboom! Yeah, that little children's book turned out to be the Anarchist Cookbook. Something to do with the Anarchist Cookbook, like as a children's book, with little childlike illustrations and how to make pipe bombs and stuff like that.
No,
That'd
that's a
be awesome.
Palestinian thing.
Yeah, that'd be great. Anyway, speaking of children's books, take a wild guess. What is the #1 sale book on Amazon right now? And by the way, I'm not making this up. Anyone know? #1 sale. Okay, do you remember when Donald Trump was touring the places that were ravaged by the last hurricane? He didn't really do very well, and he went to this one location where a boat washed up on shore. And he kept asking these dumb questions like, whose boat is this boat? I guess it's your boat now. I guess it's a free boat. You know what? Somebody took that transcript and they turned it into a children's book called Whose Boat Is This Boat?
No.
That book is now the #1 seller, and all of the proceeds, if you buy it, go to helping the people who are victims of said hurricane. And by the way, the book was put together by the writers of the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Who did it?
Fake news.
Yeah. Now, last one. This is a survey about sex and happiness. Last joke of the night. All right. Years ago, someone did a simple survey. Basically, they were trying to determine the frequency of sexual intercourse correlates to happiness, right? So this guy goes to a college campus and started observing people, and they saw a woman who looked somewhat unhappy and she was asked, how often do you have sex? And she said, once a month. Not happy. A few minutes later, they run into another woman who seemed very happy, and they asked, how often do you have sex? And they said, once a week. Oh, all right. Feeling like their theory was getting somewhere. Right? They're feeling good about the survey. Out of the blue, they see this guy riding a bicycle, and he was laughing his ass off uncontrollably. Catch up to him. They ask him, how often do you have sex? And he said, once a year. But if you only have sex once a year, how come you're so happy right now? He said, well, it happened tonight.